All right. So Pacheco, no practice today. Josh, no practice. And then Jalen Moore was ill, so he didn't practice today. But he'll be back in and ready to go. Other than that, everybody was in there. Look forward to the challenge playing the Bills. We know they're a good football team. It should be a heck of an atmosphere. It always is up there. And our guys had a good week of preparation. So that time's yours.
What's kind of your expectation about Isaiah? Do you think he'll be listed out today or for Sunday?
Pacheco?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good chance he's listed as out. Yeah. Breaking news. You can get it first.
But you expect Trey to probably play? Chris Smith.
Yeah.
You talked about Elijah Mitchell's playability earlier in the week. I guess how has he handled that reserve role that is sometimes difficult with not actually being active on game day?
Which guy? I'm sorry. Yeah, so we'll see how that all works out there. We haven't made any decisions on what we're going to do there. So, yeah. But he's handled everything great. Yeah, no, he works his tail off.
Coach, you mentioned this environment up there. Maybe it's a little bit like Arrowhead, right? They got some passionate fans and all that. This may be the last time you ever go up there. You have any interesting, fond memories or stories you didn't like about Buffalo?
I mean, there have been some great games. I mean, it's a neat stadium. All these old stadiums are disappearing. So, but I think it's a great venue. It has been for a long time. But times change and people move on. It looks like the new stadium is beautiful. Yeah.
Coach, can you share your thoughts on Deshaun and Michael Vick being on opposite sidelines last night?
Yeah, I was talking with Matt Nagy. Just what are the odds of that in Lincoln Financial? I mean, it was crazy. It was fun to watch, though. I mean, I took a peek at it. Deshaun, he sent me a picture of sitting at my old desk, so I mean, as the head coach, which was interesting.
Did you foresee head coaching material in each of them?
Well, both of them are real smart, and so they were heading in different directions. I thought they were going to go into the media side of things, and but I could definitely see him doing that. Deshaun's dad was always coaching him as a youth, and so he always had a little bit of that passion to kind of follow that. But I mean, both of them are just real smart kids. So if they decide that's what they're going to do, they'll be very good at it. It looks like Deshaun might have the better team right now. Michael's kind of building that thing up. But
Coach, you had Xavier Worthy hasn't been on the injury report this week. Is that a good indication that the shoulder issue is pretty much behind him at this point?
Yeah, no, he just goes 100 miles an hour. I check on him during the game, and not as much at practice. I mean, we're not hitting him in practice, but I check on him during the game, and always tell me everything's fine. So, he doesn't want to be on any injury reports or anything. I know.
Coach, it's Halloween today. Any chance you be passing out candy later this afternoon?
Yeah, they're probably not this afternoon. I know they don't do it at night anymore, but I've got to stay here for a while. But I'll live vicariously. I got a few grandkids, so they've all got different outfits they wear and go out. So thank goodness for cell phones.
All right, thanks for that.
All right, good. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, what's What's the last few months been like, Mike?
It's been crazy, man. You know, the NFL experience, though. So just glad to be back. You know, a lot of trips, a lot of stops, but glad to be here.
I know it surprised a lot of people when you didn't make the roster here. What was the conversation like? How did you find that out? Was it coach or Veach or what?
You know, it was everybody in the staff, but you know, it's a business at that time, and you know, I was grateful to be able to have opportunity with the Bengals after that.
When you were there, I mean, when did you kind of start getting the feeling that you might not be there and end up somewhere else? And just tell us how the whole thing happened to get back to here.
You mean in KC?
Yeah, you know, while you were in Cincinnati, when did you start getting the feeling maybe you wouldn't finish the season there? And
you know, probably a little bit after the Jets game. You know, I had some time to think and was talking with my family and everything, and didn't really know what direction I was going to go after that. And then, you know, after everything happened with the release, I talked to a few people, and you know, they motivated me to see what other opportunities were available, and you know, this opportunity lined up.
Like considering the Super Bowl rings and teams that you've been a part of, and even the child care that you got growing up around Kansas City, has there always been a soft spot for Kansas City in your heart?
Oh, always. You know, I mean, my family is long-standing Kansas City Chiefs fans. You know, even though we all bleed red, we bleed a little bit of yellow too for KC. So, you know, my family's here. You know, the doctor who cured me and went through chemo's here. So, you know, it's always, you know, attached to it here. You know, everybody knows I love KC. Come on now.
did you feel really comfortable walking back in here? I mean, it's like putting an old shoe on or something.
Oh, absolutely. You know, when you've been somewhere this long, you know, you have connections with everybody, you know, from the janitor, people who make food, players, coaches. So, you know, it felt normal. So I was just glad I was able to walk through those doors.
Did you watch? I know you're busy with your own games, but not always playing at the same time. I know you played for a lot of teams too, but were you watching Chiefs games and kind of saying, hey, you know, I could maybe help out?
I mean, always. I mean, I'm a student of the game, so, you know, and, you know, being on as many teams, you know, I have a lot of friends who play, so I'm always checking out games on Sundays and trying to catch everybody, my young guys, see if they're doing successful on other teams, so, yeah.
Just go ahead.
This is the third time you joined the team mid-season, and the last two times they won the Super Bowl. So, are you just expecting that?
I mean, I didn't know that. Well, you guys knew that? That's a fact there?
2019 to 2022 when you came back?
I don't know. I don't know. You know, however fate has it.
Considering, just for the sake of accuracy, did you ask for your release with Cincinnati?
Yes.
Was there a certain risk factor in doing that at this stage of your career?
I mean, with any business move in the NFL, you know, there's no guarantee, so there's always a risk. But, you know, I talk with the right people. You know, I'm confident in my abilities. So, you know, we didn't know how long it would be. We didn't know where we were going. So, you know, once we laid out all the options, talked to other people, glad we made the right move.
Thank you, everybody.
I was going to say, Mike, did you hear Chris's pitch to have you come back?
Yeah, I've seen all that crazy stuff. I'm like, appreciate
JuJu, what's it feel like as you guys have really been hot offensively the last month or so? I mean, what in the meetings, practice, does it just feel like it's kind of working at all levels?
Yeah, I think we got a great system here between, you know, our offense, especially with, you know, coach putting the game plan together and us going out there executing. You know, I think he puts us in the best situation to go out there to perform at our best. Entirely, I don't think it's just our offense. I think it's our defense too and our special teams. You know, they set up the field and positioning and set us up to put us in great position to go down and score, and also just momentum changers. So I think it takes all three teams to make it happen.
You mentioned the defense. You know, you've been playing very good, like I guess what coach would call complementary football lately, and that the defense has been keeping the other team on the field, and you've been able to be fresh as well, and then you guys hold on to the ball, keep the defense fresh. I mean, how rare is the situation to have that? How does it feel like on the field?
It feels great. It feels great. I mean, when you talk about time and possession of a game, when the team has the ball more time than offense, it keeps their defense off the field. And especially nowadays when times, it's getting colder, when you keep their offense off the field, especially like a high-power offense, you keep them off the field and we're on the field the whole time, it definitely, helps our defense as well, kind of slow them down. Now, they got to find a rhythm to get it going. So I think it's very important, and I think that's what we've been playing, like you said, complementary football.
JuJu, Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce were talking this week about you specifically, and they mentioned you as an instigator and agitator. Do you see yourself in that role, like to kind of the intangibles?
Yeah, I mean, I think, being here and playing with Kelce, he's been a guy that I kind of learned a lot of, just ball, stuff. And it's fun, man. I think being on the field with him, you kind of learn so much. But at the same time, I can see myself being in that role, being tangible, being able to work where I need to be worked at. I feel like I'm in a role right now where wherever coach needs to be play at, to fill that void and, make the best of it.
The aggressiveness you guys have shown, going for fourth downs and different times of the game, and Coach Nagy said yesterday you got to keep that aggressiveness even on the road, a place like Buffalo. Do you guys just feel that when you're in the huddle, hey, listen, if we don't get the third down, we're going for it on fourth?
Yeah, I think Coach believes in us and our mentality as a group. When we're in a huddle and it's 4th and 1, 4th and inches, it's like there's no question in doubt we're going to get this first down. And, we all truly believe that. We believe in our running backs to make the play. We believe in our O-line to make the right blocks. This week, they call me Big Hippo because I'm one of the big guys. So I'm on the line of scrimmage, too, making those blocks. So it's the belief, right? It's the belief that, we're going to be aggressive every single play, and especially on those 4th and inches, because one, it keeps the drive momentum going, but it also just it as a defense and vice versa too. It just kind of like that momentum, it just kind of crushes them, right? So I think for us, it's just more so just making our plays and getting those stops.
The Bills, defensively, what you're looking at with this team. I know it's a tough place to play, but they're one of these teams that you guys are always battling with for that top spot.
Yeah, I mean, great defense, right? Overall, I think their coach, they do great against it. They have a great game plan, and like always in the previous years, I just feel like we just gotta go out there and just execute our plays and just do better. No self-inflicted wounds, with penalties, and I love playing in Buffalo. I've been doing it for quite some time now, so it's fun. It's a hostile environment, but it's gonna be a great one.
How much do you relish that kind of role that you're playing now, as far as being the guy that does those little things right, that is Big Hippo, that maybe taking those physical parts and blocking parts, and sometimes being responsible, just making sure other guys make plays?
Yeah, honestly, it's a great role, man. It's a lot of things that people don't see, right? It's the little things that matters, but at the end of the day, I'm all about the team. If the team wins, our goal is to obviously get to the Super Bowl and win that. So if the team wins, that's all that matters. And at the end of the day, everyone's going to be taken care of. So super excited to just play that role. But yeah, Big Hippo. I think we added. I think I'm in there too. They call me Little Big Pony. So I don't know. But coach is funny with this. So thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Trent, fill us in a little bit about the challenge that you see on kind of all levels of this Buffalo offense and what you guys have to deal with.
I mean, we know what they're bringing to the table. You know what I mean? Josh Allen's having a great year. The offense is rolling. They got some receivers that can make plays, and I think their biggest thing is James Cook right now. He's running the ball really well and doing some good things with him. So it's really going to come down to what we do on the back end and making sure our details are right and our eyes are right.
And one of the things that Coach had talked about, Spags talked about, was how Cook can get outside.
Yeah.
And even if the edge is set, he'll get around. So that comes to you guys on the outside have to make some tackles too, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of part of the game if you're a Chiefs defensive back.
100%. I mean, I think as defensive backs, especially corners, we're used to it. You know what I mean? I think Spags relies heavily on us filling in the run game, setting edges, and this is just another week that we have to do our job at a high level.
Spags got a little upset with us bringing up the idea of having all the success you're having defensively on fourth downs. Mm-hmm. But when it is fourth, I think it's like 7 or 8 in a row that you guys have stopped. When you get to that position, is there like a heightened awareness and when you're facing a fourth down? You guys have been so good at that this year.
I mean, obviously we'd like to stay out of fourth down, but when it comes to the situation, I think we do a really good job during the week at just really knowing what they're going to attack us with. I think Coach Spags gives us the game plan early on in the week on Tuesdays so that we have time to understand what we're going to do, but also how they're going to attack us. And I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to fourth down, that's one of them downs where you just got to get off the field. You know what I mean? No matter what, you got to make a play. And we've luckily been doing that the past few weeks, so we got to just continue to do that.
Teams are doing it more often, just taking more risk on fourth down.
Yeah. I mean, I like to think it's because our offense is rolling, you know, so they have to be a little more aware of that and try to keep the ball out of Pat's hands. But we're always ready every week.
NFL's Next Gen Stats had you and Pat Surtain rated as the top 2 shutdown corners in the league. What do you think? What do you feel like makes you a shutdown corner?
Man, sticky coverage. You know what I mean? Obviously, not allowing the ball to get caught on you is the major thing, but I think he's just one of those guys that when they're out there, they make a difference. You know what I mean? They can shut their side down and they can do things above and beyond just being a corner.
What? Just tell me a little bit about their wide receivers. I know they got a couple guys out right now, but what do they look like as a group? I know there's been some turnover the last couple of years.
I mean, they're dynamic. You know what I mean? They got really guys that I don't want to say run routes really well, but they understand what Josh is looking at. And I think that's what makes them so dangerous, so dynamic, that they can run an in route and know, okay, after this many steps, after this long, okay, let me go to scramble drill because Josh got out the pocket. And understanding zones, I feel like that's the biggest thing I've seen. You know, they do a lot of crossing routes. They do a lot of things where they're picking you and have eye candies, all these motions. But when you really just break it down and look at the film, I think they do a really good job at knowing what the defenses attack them with. So finding little holes and finding little pockets that Josh can just give them the ball and they can get up the field. I mean, that's the best thing they can do with the ball in their hands.
How about the environment up there? This is going to be the whole country's watching. It's the only game at 3:25 on CBS, and they got your streak last year up there. But what's it like playing there?
It's exciting. We love it. It's one of them games when you go, the fans are going to be rowdy. There's going to be a lot of energy, and I mean, I always think of it, it's one of those games where it's not the playoffs, but it's a playoff type of game. So it's a battle, it's a war, and I know on our end, we love it.
Anything else? Thanks, Trent.
Thanks, Aaron.